You ever wonder why she says she's not that sexual, then spends forever choosing lingerie no one else will even see? Why she rolls her eyes when you talk about sex, but devours steamy books in secret? Why one night she's on fire and the next she shuts down like you don't exist? Here's the loop nobody talks about. Men think desire is simple. See, want, act. Women? They live in a different dimension. You're playing checkers. She's playing chess in 3 timelines at once. And if you don't get this, you'll keep losing without even knowing the rules. Think about it. You walk into a room, spot an attractive woman, and your body lights up instantly. Straight line, no confusion. But for her, desire runs through memories, insecurities, social rules, future fears, all crashing together before she even decides how to feel. One compliment can make her melt. One careless look can kill her mood for a week. And here's the pain most men live with. You think she doesn't want you. You think you're not enough. But the truth is darker. She wants. She craves. She burns. Just not the way you think. So the real question is this. What if every time you thought she was cold, she was actually trapped inside a system nobody ever explained to you? And what if learning to decode it was the difference between another dead bedroom and a connection that blows her mind every single time? Stay until the end, because once you see her secret map, you'll never look at women or sex the same way again. You've been lied to about female desire. You've been told it's weaker, softer, almost secondary to yours. But if that were true, explain why she can spend an hour choosing lingerie she swears is just comfortable. Explain why she hides spicy novels on her nightstand while claiming she's not that into it. Explain why she can light up like fire one night and then act like she doesn't even have a body the next. You think it's random. It isn't. It's a system you never learned because nobody ever taught you the language women actually use when it comes to sex. For you, arousal is like hunger, direct, uncomplicated. You see something desirable, your body reacts, and you know what to do. Straight line, stimulus, response, action. For her, it's nothing like hunger. It's more like a thriller playing on multiple screens at once. The past, the present, the future, overlapping, contradicting, feeding off one another. While you're thinking about tonight, she's replaying childhood rules about being a good girl. She's calculating whether this choice makes her look cheap or powerful. She's projecting how it might change the way you see her tomorrow. You're playing a game of checkers. She's locked in a match of 3-dimensional chess, where one wrong move costs her more than you can imagine. This is why she can want you with every nerve in her body at 9 p.m. and reject you completely at 9:05. It's not because she's inconsistent. It's because her desire is wired into every layer of her identity, her worth, her body image, her reputation, even her sense of safety. You're not dealing with just her body. You're facing every message she's ever absorbed about sex. The boyfriend who treated intimacy like she owed him. The family that treated her body like something shameful. The culture that told her a real woman is both innocent and wild, both modest and seductive, both available and impossible to get. No wonder she shuts down when one detail throws her off. And here's what most men don't realize. She doesn't need desire to perform desire. She doesn't need arousal to act aroused. While you can't fake an erection, she can fake every single sign of passion and make it believable. Entire relationships have played out this way, where she moaned on cue and kissed at the right moments while her mind wandered to grocery lists or work deadlines. Not because she's cruel, but because she was trained to make you comfortable at the cost of herself. Society taught her to smile through emptiness, to be sexy even when she feels like hell, to prioritize your satisfaction over her truth. Think about how insane that is. Your body is honest. When you're turned on, it shows. When you're not, it doesn't. There's no middle ground. But her entire adolescence was practice in performing. By the time she's an adult, she knows how to act like a porn star while feeling absolutely nothing. She can kiss like she's on fire, whisper like she's desperate, move like she's lost in ecstasy, all while being numb inside. And you probably believed it, thinking you were killing it in bed. That's why you get so confused. Some nights, she jumps you like she can't resist. Some nights, she recoils from your touch. One week, she can't keep her hands off you. The next, she avoids your gaze. You think it's about you. You think you lost your edge. But it's not about you. It's about her entire ecosystem. Psychology, physiology, cognition, all of it colliding in real time. To you, sex is straightforward. To her, sex is a war fought between desire and programming. Here's the brutal part. She can be with you physically while being miles away mentally. She can make love to you while battling her own insecurities. She can climax while worrying about how her body looks from your angle. She can whisper your name while comparing herself to your ex. She can give you everything while feeling empty, and you never notice, because she was trained to hide it. Meanwhile, in your head, you're lost. You wonder why she pulls away after kissing you, like she wanted more. You wonder why she gets tense in the middle of something she started. You wonder why she swears she loves you, but sometimes feels unreachable. You blame yourself. You think you're not attractive enough, not confident enough, not man enough. But none of that is the truth. She's not rejecting you. She's wrestling with herself. And here's the paradox that keeps you hooked. That same complexity, that same storm of contradictions, is exactly why her desire can feel so explosive when it finally aligns. When her self-image is strong, her body is receptive, and her mind finally shuts the hell up. You see a side of her that feels otherworldly. The goddess who shocked you that one night, the one you've been desperate to bring back ever since. That wasn't random. That was everything lining up in perfect sequence. That was her true desire, unfiltered. But it doesn't happen by accident. It happens because triggers fall into place. Because the world stopped screaming in her head for a moment. Because something you did made her feel safe, wanted, powerful, and free all at once. That's the reality most men never understand. You're not fighting her. You're fighting ghosts. Ghosts of rules, of shame, of every voice that told her she shouldn't want what she clearly does. So stop seeing her contradictions as rejection. Start seeing them as codes. Every cold glance, every sudden shutdown, every delayed response. It isn't random. It's her system at work. Once you learn to read it, the confusion disappears. And when you can finally speak her language, you stop getting the performance and start unlocking the truth. Not the act, not the mask, her real desire. And once you've touched that, there's no going back. Think this blew your mind? That was just the surface. Smash that subscribe button now, because in the next part, I'll reveal the fantasies she'll never admit, but that secretly control her desire. Miss it, and you'll stay blind. Don't. Forget everything you think you know about women's fantasies. While you're at the gym, thinking your new chest routine will make you irresistible. She's lost in a novel about a billionaire who controls empires, but falls to his knees for one woman. She isn't daydreaming about abs or nice guy smiles. She's drawn to stories that reveal something deeper, the blueprint of her desire. You assume she wants money. She doesn't. What she craves is significance. The billionaire fantasy is never about yachts or penthouses. It's about being chosen by a man who could have anyone, yet loses control only with her. It's the intoxicating power of being the exception. Christian Grey wasn't hot because of his balance sheet. He was hot because he commanded every room until a woman cracked him open. She doesn't want your wealth. She wants to be the only thing that can't be bought. That's why competence turns her on more than cologne ever could. The surgeon who holds lives in his hands. The chef who rules a kitchen like a general. The professor who captivates a room with nothing but his voice. It's not the title that matters. It's mastery. Watching a man operate at a level beyond the average. That's foreplay. That's why she felt something stir when you fixed her car, yet felt nothing when you bragged about fantasy football. Excellence is erotic. Competence is desire. But that's just one fantasy. Another is as old as myth itself. The beast who can only be tamed by her. Every vampire, every werewolf, every bad boy story is built on this drug. He's dangerous to the world, but gentle with her. He's violent with enemies, but vulnerable in her arms. He could destroy everything, but chooses her instead. And that's the point. You think she wants you soft, civilized, predictable. She doesn't. She wants you capable of chaos, but choosing peace because of her. She wants to be the only one who can touch the wolf without losing a hand. This is why the smallest gestures hit her so deeply. You walk on the outside of the sidewalk. You place your hand at her lower back in a crowd. You think it's nothing. To her, it screams, "You're precious. You're safe with me." Protection isn't just about fists and muscles. It's about being the sanctuary where she doesn't have to be strong. The place where she can fall apart, knowing you'll keep her together. The soldier who comes home to her. The man who would burn the world if that's what it took to keep her warm. That's why the protector archetype never goes out of style. And then there's the mysterious one. The man who doesn't hand himself over easily. The aloof figure who doesn't text back for days, who seems unaffected, who looks like he doesn't need her. That man is psychological crack. Every competitive instinct lights up because she wants to be the one to break through. She wants to earn his softness. Prove she's the one who can unlock him. You think sending good morning texts makes you attractive. She's fantasizing about the man who's silent until he chooses to speak. You think vulnerability will win her heart. She's secretly obsessed with the puzzle she hasn't solved yet. Step back and look at all of these archetypes. They seem different, but they share one formula. Strength wrapped around vulnerability. Power with a private weakness. Danger with selective softness. Not soft for everyone. Not vulnerable for the world. Just for her. The real fantasy isn't taming a puppy. It's taming the dragon, and knowing it bows only for her. Now you're confused. That girl who left you for a tattoo artist at 22 is married to a financial advisor with a 401k. And you're asking what the hell happened. She used to swear stability was boring. She swore she'd never be like her mom. She needed danger like oxygen. Did she become someone else? No, she didn't change. She graduated. Her psychology evolved. While you kept running the same playbook you learned in college, she moved on to a new chapter of desire. What she wanted at 21 isn't what she needs at 28. What lit her up at 20 won't be enough at 32. Her fantasies evolve with her. The mistake most men make is trying to freeze her in the past. Still playing the mystery when she now craves protection. Still being the bad boy when she longs for authority. Still offering danger when she's looking for decisiveness. You think the spark died? It didn't. You just failed to evolve with her. This is why it matters. Because her fantasies aren't random. They're stages of growth. They're proof that she's alive, learning, and rewriting what desire means to her. Ignore that truth, and you'll always feel left behind. Learn it, and you'll stay ahead of the curve. You'll be the man who grows with her, instead of the man she outgrows. Look at the timeline of her desire. In her early 20s, chaos feels like oxygen. She's drawn to the bad boy who doesn't text back, who shows up drunk at 2 a.m, who already has another girl on the side. He's unreliable, unstable, and impossible to control. And that's exactly why she wants him. It's not stupidity. It's not weakness. It's adrenaline. Every unanswered message is foreplay. Every mixed signal feels like proof that she's alive, desirable, and daring enough to play in the deep end. Safety bores her. Danger makes her pulse race. But fast forward a few years. After 3 heartbreaks, countless tears, and therapy sessions, where she tries to understand why she chases men who can't give her what she needs, the script starts to change. Suddenly, the protector looks different. The man she ignored at 23 because he was too nice now looks like a rock at 28. Not because she's settling, but because the meaning of excitement has evolved. Stability isn't dull anymore. It's hot. Reliability is romantic. Planning a future is more arousing than not being able to plan a weekend. Yet here's the part no one talks about. She grieves the change. She misses the chaos sometimes. She still feels the pull when she scrolls through a bad boy's Instagram. Her stomach flips. Then she closes the app and cuddles up with the man who actually shows up for her. She's not indecisive. She's not confused. Both men played roles in her development. The bad boy proved she was wanted. The protector proves she is worthy. Different lessons for different chapters. By her 30s, another archetype enters the scene: authority. She's established now. She doesn't need a man's status. She wants his expertise, the executive who mentors her by day and devours her by night. The surgeon whose steady hands save lives, then worship her body. The entrepreneur who builds empires, then cooks her breakfast. She's not looking for potential anymore. She's looking for mastery, for someone who operates at her level and celebrates the woman she's become. And sometimes, she wants them all in a single weekend. Friday night, she craves the beast. Rough, primal, tossing her around like she weighs nothing. Saturday morning, she melts into the protector. Warm coffee, tender questions, a safe space to breathe. Saturday night, she's drawn to the billionaire archetype, decisive, commanding, making her feel chosen above all others. And by Sunday, she wants mystery again, distant enough to keep her chasing, just out of reach so she feels she has to earn it. Here's the tragedy most men never see. You're probably still playing the same role you had when you first met her. Still clinging to the mysterious act when she now needs protection. Still pretending to be the rebel when she's craving authority. Still serving danger when she wants decisiveness. You didn't lose the spark. You stayed stuck in her past while she kept evolving. That's why relationships feel like they fade. It's not love that died. It's fantasy that shifted. And if you didn't grow with it, you got left behind. Every woman runs on custom software, 3 pillars that shape her desire: psychological, physiological, and cognitive. No two women have the same code. One responds instantly to touch. Another needs hours of buildup. One feels powerful in sex. Another feels ashamed. What drives one woman wild leaves another cold. The psychological pillar is her self-image as a sexual being. Does she feel worthy of pleasure? Does she believe she's desirable? One woman steps into bed like a goddess granting favors. Another lies there like damaged goods, hoping to prove she still matters. Same act, different movie playing in her head. When you touch her, you're not just touching skin. You're touching a story she's been writing for years. The physiological pillar is her body's wiring. Some women need slow buildup, layer after layer. Others want raw intensity from the start. Some crave hours of teasing. Others burn fast, then cool quickly. The truth, many women don't even know their own patterns because they've been too busy performing what they thought they should feel instead of discovering what they actually feel. The cognitive pillar is her mind's narration. It's the voice that never shuts up. Is this too soon? Does this mean something? Am I doing it right? What would people think? While you're lost in sensation, she's grading the entire performance. You're focused on pleasure. She's writing a thesis on what it means. Most of the time, only one or two pillars fire. Maybe her body's ready, but her self-image is broken. Maybe her psychology is lit, but her brain keeps blocking it. Maybe her thoughts give permission, but her body refuses to respond. That's why those rare nights where all three align feel unforgettable. That's why the goddess you saw once keeps haunting you. Because she wasn't pretending. She was finally free. The CIA has a word for the exact chain of triggers that leads to a result: concordance. In intelligence work, it's the sequence that explains how events stack up until something explodes. In sex, it's the lock that guards her desire. For you, the code is simple. See, want, act, direct, fast, predictable. For her, concordance is a labyrinth. Each number must be turned in perfect order, or the vault never opens. And you've been spinning dials at random, wondering why nothing works. She might need intellectual spark before she can feel physical pull. She might need narrative buildup before a touch means anything. She might need emotional safety before her body even considers arousal. You keep jumping to step 10 when she still needs step 1. That's why grabbing her in the kitchen doesn't work if her system hasn't aligned yet. Her sequence might even begin with something far from sex, like you fixing something broken, showing competence, or standing up to someone, showing strength, or speaking passionately about a subject, showing intensity. For you, foreplay begins with touch. For her, it might begin 6 hours earlier, when you parked the car perfectly. While you're turned on by bodies, she's turned on by stories. The story of being wanted, but not conquered. The story of being chosen when others compete. The story of being powerful enough to break a man who controls everything. That's why she reads erotica instead of watching porn. That's why she needs the plot, not just the scene. You look hot falls flat. But I haven't been able to stop thinking about you all day melts her defenses. You're sending data. She craves narrative. And here's what most men miss. She's already told you what she wants. You just weren't listening. She mentioned that book she couldn't put down. The one with the ruthless CEO who only surrenders to one woman. She blushed when the contractor fixed her sink and spoke with authority. She leaned closer when you took charge without hesitation. She's been handing you the map to her arousal. But you're still using outdated directions, stuck in a world that no longer exists. Identifying her archetype isn't about asking. It's about observing. What stories make her shift in her seat? What characters make her hair-twisting nervous? What kind of man silences her mid-sentence? If she's obsessed with crime shows, odds are she craves the beast archetype. If she glows when you explain your craft, she's tuned to authority. If she pushes boundaries, she's testing whether you're protector or pretender. But here's the truth. The archetype is only the key. You still need to walk through the door. You can't just announce you're her protector and expect her to fall. You have to live it. Walk her to her car without asking. Remember the meeting she's nervous about. Create a space where her nervous system finally exhales. That's protection, not promises. Proof. Her concordance is always running. Watch what happens before she initiates. Does it follow deep conversations where you really listened? Does it follow moments where you solved stress for her? Does it follow times you dominated a challenge outside the bedroom? That's her system revealing itself. Most men think sex starts when clothes come off. For her, it started 3 days ago when you solved a problem without being asked. And then come the stimulus types. Some women need story before touch. That's narrative stimulus. You can't just grab. You must paint with words. Tell her you've been distracted all day by thoughts of her. Describe what you'll do later. For her, your voice is foreplay. Your intention is the drug. Others are sensory stimulus. They don't need sexual touch first. They need their senses awakened. Your fingers through her hair while watching TV. Your hand low on her back in public. Not sexual, but electric. It pulls her into her body, makes her aware of every nerve waiting to ignite. Here's the danger. You can have every ingredient, be the right archetype, understand her concordance, know her stimulus. But if you mess up the order, you get nothing. Sequence is king. That's why mastery matters more than effort. Anyone can try. Few know how to execute in rhythm with her design. When you do, everything changes. You stop guessing. You stop fumbling. You become the man who just gets it. The man who seems to read her mind. The man who knows the right move without asking. To her, that feels like magic. But it isn't magic. It's strategy. It's observation. It's listening to the language every woman speaks, but almost no man hears. And this is where most men get it twisted. They think decoding her system is manipulation. It isn't. It's fluency, mastery. You're not tricking her. You're finally speaking her language. And mastery, in her eyes, is the sexiest quality you could ever embody. Now it's your turn. You've seen the map, the codes, the hidden sequence behind her desire. Most men will never learn this language, and they'll keep stumbling in the dark. But you're not most men. If this hit you, drop a comment below. Tell me the part that opened your eyes. Share this with a friend who needs to hear the truth. And if you want more of these raw secrets every day, hit subscribe right now. Mastery starts here.